One of the marks of wisdom is the desire for wisdom. I do think one of the scariest things that the Bible teaches is that the fool is the one who assumes that they are not a fool. One of the marks of being a fool is you think you're wise. One of the marks of being wise is you think you're a fool. That the wise person recognizes they need to go and get wisdom. Here's what Proverbs 4 says about this. This is the beginning of wisdom. Get wisdom. And whatever you get insight. That wisdom and insight are kind of two ways of saying the same thing. Wisdom has to do with skill, capacity to act rightly in God's world. Insight is perspective, being able to see into something, insight. And the wise person assumes they need more wisdom. The wise person assumes they lack insight. And so it's a safe thing to do is just to assume you're an idiot and go and get wisdom. Now, as you grow, you'll know that if you ask for feedback on every single little decision you make, that's fruit of insecurity, not wisdom. But generally speaking, you want to be getting wisdom. And so one of the questions I get regularly from men who are wise is, how do I get a mentor? I would like a mentor. And I say initially that instinct is good. I think every person should have mentor figures. I don't think it's good and right for you to have a mentor as though it's like a single point of failure. You have one father, but you can have multiple father figures in your life. One bad dad cannot be replaced by one father figure. You probably need to accumulate a variety of father figures who help shape you, inform you, and help you become wise. So first, I want to say, don't try to find a mentor. Try to accumulate a plurality of counselors and wise people in your life that you can go to for various things. So don't go to church and walk up to someone and say, will you be my mentor? I think that is the wrong approach. First of all, a person who's humble and wise will kind of go, wait, hold on, what do you mean? I don't know if I have the capacity to do whatever that is, because someone has this assumed definition of what a mentor is, and that's not the case. That's not what we should think about. So when you're trying to find a mentor, instead of trying to just go and pitch someone some vague job description, here's what you should do, is you should ask people for particular feedback or counsel on aspects of your life. I think rather than saying, will you be my mentor, I think you should say, hey, can we grab lunch sometime? I want to pick your brain about being a husband. Hey, can we grab coffee sometime? I want to pick your brain about parenting. Hey, can we grab lunch sometime? I want to pick your brain about your spiritual disciplines. Hey, could we do a quick phone call? I have a question about how you work through the legal paperwork of starting your business. I would like to do something similar. And so see things in other people's life that you want. You want a marriage like they have. You want kids like they have. You want a business like they have. You have a spiritual life. They have a spiritual life that you want. And you go, I want what they have, and ask them, how did you get that? What brought that about? And so rather than asking them to be your mentor, which feels like a job, ask them for their advice or their counsel. Here's the thing is most of the people you're going to want time with are busy people. They don't have 90 minutes every other Thursday to just shoot the breeze with you. Some people will cultivate time and carve out time like that dependent on their season of life, but a lot of people, they don't have a lot of capacity to just have extended conversations with you about life and all that it's involved. And so what you want to do is have pre-planned questions that you want to ask. How did you know that you wanted to marry your wife? At what point did you go from I'm dating her to I want to marry her? When your child was doing blank when they were 6, what did you do? What did you do that didn't work? What did you do that did work? And so see what someone has, want it, and then ask them specific questions about how they got it. When maybe you see someone go, I saw you suffer the last year, and the fruit of your life that went through suffering blew my mind. What happened in your soul that allowed you to suffer with such grace and grief at the same time? So see something that you want to imitate, and then ask them specific questions about that thing. And so you might say, could we grab lunch or do a brief phone call? Because basically everybody has time for a brief phone call, even though some people don't have time for lunch. So sometimes wisdom can be developed and built in a series of 5 to 8 minute conversations. Sometimes someone will carve out enough time that you can talk with them at length for a few hours about something, but take what they can give you. And the most busy, successful people will tend to have really high boundaries on their time because they're going, you know how I got a good marriage? By not spending Friday nights talking with you about how to have a good marriage. I have strong boundaries. I'm not going to do that. Do you know how I got kids that are warm and affectionate and love me? By making sure I'm there when they're awake on Saturday mornings and not by doing breakfast with you on Saturday mornings. And so try to find time that works for them. Take what they can give from you. And ideally, what you'll have is a menu of people, a menu of men that you respect, ideally 5 to 20, that you could call when you have questions about random and various things in your life. That say, hey, I have a quick question about blank. Can you give me a phone call? And so seeking out wisdom mostly looks like getting a plurality of wise counselors, not necessarily finding a mentor. You might label someone a mentor after they've spent a lot of time pouring into you, but you don't want to hit them with a job description and say, well, you sign up to do this, because that's not really how it works.